Stream for studentloanjustice.org. My name is Alan Collins. It is Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. Let me just dial that in for you. I hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. I'm trying to keep tonight's live stream quite brief. So I've got a couple of announcements. First announcement is please donate, guys. Sorry to have to lead with this. I am. Last I checked, I think we need somewhere around 15 people to donate $20 or more this week. Thank you, by the way, to Amy, David, Misty, and a couple of other people who've donated over the past day or two. It's very much appreciated. We can't do this on nothing, guys. We can do it on very little. We can't do it on nothing. This is a grassroots group, and I suck at fundraising. I truly do. But this group is very important, and it's very important that this group remains in existence, quite frankly. And going forward, I can tell it's going to be very difficult, guys. You know, people are getting ready to resume payments in October, and everybody's clutching their purse or whatever you want to call it. Things are going to get very difficult for this group on fundraising, certainly. But, you know, just things in general are going to get difficult for all student loan borrowers everywhere. When they turn these loan payments back on, guys, it's going to could be a bloodbath. We still don't have the leverage of bankruptcy returned to the loans, which is the number one thing that must happen if we are going to avoid being served up like turkey at the Thanksgiving dinner to the student loan collection mafia racket. Okay, one other announcement. We have an interview request from NPR radio show called This American Life. Ira Glass, good show. They actually do some very significant journalism from time to time. So they're looking for expats. They're looking for people who live outside the United States and are sort of staying there or went there in the first place because of their student loans and can't really come back to the U.S. because of their student loans, et cetera, et cetera. So if you or someone you know falls in that category, you can DM me, or what would be probably quicker is just send an email to the producer. His email is james@thislife.org. So tonight, the question on the table is, how many people are going to resume paying on their student loans when we get the right return? And by the way, if you're new to the group, welcome. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to, if you're watching us live on Facebook or Twitter, go ahead and log your comments now. And if I can see them, I will gladly respond to them in stream if I can see them. So I want to do a quick share screen with you so you understand. Guys, very few people are going to resume paying on their student loans. 99% of the media we're seeing right now is literally propaganda. It's stuff seeded in the media by the companies who have a very strong interest in a lot of people resuming making payments on their loans. But here are the facts, ladies and gentlemen, and here's my share screen. Even before the pandemic, dudes, 58.9% of everyone were not making payments on their student loans. Oh, that's not the right one. Let me do the right one for you. Yes, nearly 60% were not paying on their student loans even before the pandemic. And here's a colorful pie chart for you so you can see. So this is data taken directly from the Department of Education, fourth quarter 2019. And you can see from the data, there's the red group of people that were just not paying, period, not paying. There's another group of people who technically were in repayment, but they were making $0 payments, so they weren't paying. The verb paying kind of disappears when you're paying nothing. So that's not paying. So 50.4 were just straight up not paying. Another 9% were making quote unquote $0 payments. So that's a grand total of nearly 3 in 5 of all federal student loan borrowers were not paying anything on their student loans before the pandemic. Now, we've had 3.5 years of no payments. Inflation has sucked every nickel that we were saving from not having to make payments out of us, and then some. So nobody knows what the percentage of people who are going to actually resume paying on their student loans are going to be. But that's good. I mean, it's the Wild West out there, guys. Your guess is pretty much as good as mine. My best estimate is that maybe 25% of the people will resume paying on their loans come October 1st. Might be as high as 30%. I would say between 25 and 30%. I'd say closer to 25 or maybe less. But within 4 or 5 months, let's say by Christmas time, that's going to go down significantly because people are going to be like, yeah, I remember I couldn't do this before. I definitely can't do it now. Ain't going to happen. I'm done. That's going to happen. And you can tell by looking at a simple Google News search for student loans. This is hilarious. I'm going to share the screen with you too. Here's a recent Google News search that I think you will find interesting. Hopefully I can. Okay, yeah. Let me share this screen with you as well. Do another share screen. This is a recent Google News search for student loans. This is actually hilarious. I just sent this in an email to a friend of mine. And you can see the headlines for yourself. Student loan interest resumes, what that means. And oh, look at that. USA Today is reporting that student debt payments are surging before official start loan repayments. And just other assorted propaganda about, hey, get ready to pay your student loans. It's propaganda, guys. This stuff is all seeded by our opposition. That's the way the media has been lately, and that's how the media will continue to be. It's going to get even worse over the next month or so, but it's probably right around its crescendo point right now. So, the media sucks on this issue. The media is just captured and corrupted and disgusting on this issue, with a few rare exceptions. We were interviewed on Fox News last week, Fox News Radio, 20-minute long form interview. Very fair interview. Love or hate Fox News. And believe me, we've been on Fox News many times, and we have been sabotaged by those people more than once. But this particular segment, it was Fox News Radio, actually, with Eben Brown, was surprisingly fair. And so I have to at least say that for Fox News. We like going to the Lions Den, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, your guess is as good as mine, guys. What do you think? If 60% of the people weren't paying before the pandemic, is that going to go up? Yeah. Is it going to go up? What's it going to go up to? 70% not paying? Yeah, I'd say yeah. 80% not paying? Maybe. It's probably going to be more than 70, less than 80. So that's somewhere between 20 and 30% of the people paying, and 70 or 80% not paying. So what is that, guys? Let's take 2 steps back here. What is it when the large majority of the borrowers of some kind of a loan simply aren't paying on the loan? What is that? I don't know. We've never seen it before in American history. What I would call it is a failed lending program. What would you call it? The default rate is going to go through the roof, guys. It was already high, something like 40% or more. Actually, probably closer to 50% for all student loan borrowers walking around before the pandemic. I think that's going to go up to, 65, 70, 75%, 80% maybe. We also know this, guys, before the pandemic, 85%. So that is the very large majority of all borrowers. 85% were never going to be able to repay their loans even before the pandemic. So roughly 60%, and let's just say over half weren't paying before the pandemic, but another 30% were They were paying and they were paying and paying, but their loan balances were going up, not down, up. And I think that's true for damn near everybody on our group. You know, we have people, I could tell you so many stories. In fact, I'm almost tempted to share my screen, and maybe I will do that actually. I'm going to do that. This is a really telling statistic. I'm just going to flash some graphics up that we've collected from our members over quite a few years, and you can see for yourself just how failed this lending program is. It's really quite astonishing. So let me get my ugly mug out of your face, and let us go to Twitter for a minute, and you can see a slideshow that we put together. I think that's it right there. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get this in front of your face in just a minute. There, right there. Hopefully you can see that. You can see it starts with Robert in New York. Borrowed $20,000, repaid $40,000, owes $167,000. Vanjie borrowed $26,000, repaid $93,000, owes $132,000. Sabrina borrowed $72,000, paid $96,000, still owes $168,000. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are the types of numbers that we're seeing. It's just disgusting. I mean, just these slides alone, in my humble opinion, are all the proof that anyone needs to see to know that this federal student loan program cannot be allowed to continue. I would say it is a grave and present danger, a clear and present danger, if you will, to the country. And if you look at states in the country like Georgia and compare the amount of student loan debt in those states to their state budgets, it's jaw-dropping. It's gobsmacking. So the people of Georgia, for example, the state budget of Georgia, the big state budget, so including federal pass-through spending, state budget of Georgia is $48 billion. Nearly $50 billion is the state budget of Georgia. That's a lot of money. The people of Georgia owe a mind-blowing $81 billion in mostly federal student loan debt. So, yeah, guys, and hopefully you were able to see the other names that flashed by in that slideshow. The numbers are outrageous, obscene, and we the people do not have to put up with this bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. The founding fathers called for uniform bankruptcy laws in the Constitution. These have been uniquely stripped from student loans. Every loan that I'm aware of, I think, in the country has this consumer, not only this consumer protection, but also statutes of limitations, which is the legal length of time past which a debt becomes legally uncollectible. All other loans that I'm aware of have these, not student loans. Fair debt collection practice laws have been restricted for federal student loans. Truth in lending laws have been literally taken away from federal student loans. Don't apply to federal student loans. Student loans have been weaponized, guys. And the founding fathers would be having none of it if they were in the country alive and kicking today. They would be in our group. So we don't have to put up with this bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. Lending systems fail from time to time. That's been true since the days of ancient Greece, since Caesar Augustus, or even Julius Caesar was, maybe even Alexander the Great, going back that far, since he was roaming around Macedonia and so forth. Lending systems fail from time, ladies and gentlemen. This one has failed. It's not that big of a deal in the huge scheme of things. But I can only tell you guys that in my humble opinion, nobody should pay any more of their hard-earned money into this unconstitutional loan scam. Don't feed the beast. bulletproof yourself and fight. More than anything, the only good advice I have for anyone tonight, you need to help bulletproof yourself. That's great advice. But help us fight. When we get the leverage of bankruptcy returned, when we get the right of bankruptcy returned, as it exists for all other loans, everything will get better for everyone, including you, whether you would ever or never file. Nobody will actually have to file in order to see this lending system completely, maybe even totally improve, like maybe even go away. Like, who knows? What I do know is that we are not going to see anything good until we get the leverage of bankruptcy rights returned. And I know that everyone will see everything good happen when we finally get the leverage of bankruptcy returned. Nobody wants to file for bankruptcy, guys. Least of all me, least of all you. That's not the point. The point is we've got to get the leverage of bankruptcy returned. It's our strongest argument. Nobody argues against it almost, except for maybe like Virginia Fox tries to, but there is no argument against it, guys. You argue against bankruptcy, you are arguing against the foundational pillars of this country, believe it or not. As I said, the founding fathers called for it to have the power to declare war and raise an army in the Constitution. But yeah, guys, this is your battle, and you got to help us fight it. We're a working fighting group. If you haven't noticed, we don't need wallflowers on this group. We don't need people who wait and watch and worry. Maybe treat this group as their own little entertainment. We don't need cynical people sitting on the sidelines saying, "Oh, nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change." Well, fuck you. We're working our asses off to make things change. But for this group, we wouldn't even be talking about student loan cancellation by executive order today. But for this group, we wouldn't have seen any number of very good pieces of bankruptcy legislation to come in years and decades past. But for this group, neither of those things are going to happen. I know that sounds dramatic, guys, but this group is way more important than you might think. We've got 1.4 million members, at least on paper. But those two things that I just said are very true, guys. We started the whole public conversation about canceling student loans by executive order. And I could probably send you emails from congressional Senate staffers telling us that, yep, it was you guys that caused this or that legislation to even happen in the first place. So, guys, it's really important that this group not only continues to fight, but we've got to grow. We've got to get our members, meaning you sitting there, we need our members to step up and own this problem and help us fight. And the number one way that you can do that is by doing our daily actions. So if you forget everything I said here tonight, but whatever I did say sort of made you understand, oh, this guy perhaps is not full of shit and perhaps is actually telling the truth. Well, I am. We never lie on this group. We hardly ever exaggerate. I try not to exaggerate. But if you're inspired at all and you want to help, the number one thing you will do are our daily actions. You can go to the website. I would say also follow us on Twitter. But go to our website, go there and do our daily actions. They're very quick. They take less than a minute to do most days. It's like retweet this, retweet that, maybe take a poll. Oh, by the way, maybe I should share a screen again. I just want to let you all know we are redoing our poll, asking people what percentage of them are going to resume paying on their student loans. And lo and behold, the numbers are a little bit different from the last time we did this a couple months ago. The numbers we're seeing now are tending towards somewhere around distracted. So the first time we did the poll, we found that somewhere between 70 and 80% of the people who responded to our poll, public poll on Facebook and on Twitter, between 70 and 80% are not going to resume paying on their loans. So that has gone down a little bit to like somewhere between 70 and 75% will not be resuming paying on their student loans. Now, a public poll on Facebook or Twitter, who knows? We can only be so scientific with these things. But it wouldn't surprise me a bit if that wound up being the actual number, because on one hand, nobody wants to say, I'm not going to resume paying on my student loans publicly. Nobody wants to say that. But on the other hand, the people who are going to see our polls probably going to be a little bit more active or militant or angry or whatever than most people about their student loans. I don't know. So, and by the way, take this poll if you have not already. And, okay, I said I was going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen so you can see it. I think this is it. Yep, this is it. You can see the poll for yourself. I'm just going to scroll up to it. You can see at the most recent count, we've got 70.4% on Twitter saying no, I'm not going to pay. 30% yes, 30% saying yes, I will pay. And on Facebook, it's a little bit lower than that. So I'm not sure what I said earlier, but yeah, somewhere between 65 and 70% say they will not pay on Twitter and Facebook. Okay, I'm looking for your questions, comments right now. Unfortunately, guys, it looks like my stupid blabbermouth went on a little too long again tonight, and I apologize. Kind of out of time. So if I really can't get to your comments tonight, and I apologize for that. I will look at your comments after the fact, though, and I can guarantee you that I will respond to any and all comments you might have. So yeah, guys, it's getting real. October is coming. We need you to turn over a new leaf in your life, and you need to realize that the people on TV, the media, people in Congress, all the fake bullshit, I would say most of them are corrupted groups, nonprofits, and others in Washington, D.C., claiming to be fighting for borrowers. They're not fighting for us. They're fighting for their own institutional crap. And that involves keeping this problem alive. Some of the groups are actually making money by preying upon their own members and roping them into very unwise, unhealthy, damaging loan consolidations, loan rehabilitations, etc. These groups are not to be trusted, guys. We, the people, normal people, living, breathing people, you and me, grassroots, human beings with student loans. It's up to us, guys. This is our battle to fight. Nobody else is going to fight us for it. Fight it for us. And, you know, the only thing that I'll say is if you sit there and you wait and you watch and you wonder and you worry and you do nothing and you just kind of sit there and wonder, you know, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Well, what they are going to do on student loans is perpetuate this loan scam for the rest of your life as long as you do nothing. What they are going to do is send their own kids to college, very expensive colleges, for free, off of your ass, from your student loan payments, because that's what they want. That's what they are going to do, as long as you sit around and think that somebody else is going to carry your weight for you. This group does not exist to kiss your ass, tell you everything's going to be okay, and sell you down the river to loan consolidators, loan rehabilitators, etc. No. We are brutally honest on this group, and we are tough. And we need tough fighting people on this group. And to everybody out there on this group, and you know who I'm talking about, who are the true warriors who've been in this fight with us for years or decades, several decades now. Some of them are, like our fearless co-leader Ed, for example. We've been around for 18 years now, guys, over 18 years. I salute you. It is quite astounding what we have been able to get done over the past 3 years or so. And we have a lot to be proud of. But this battle is going to get tougher than we've ever seen it going forward. And we need you. Particularly, we need all of our warriors, obviously. but we need new warriors. We need people like if you're not doing stuff, we need you sitting there in this fight. So go to our website. Go to our website. Join your state chapter group, I would also say. But number one, do our daily actions. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I've gone on way too long. Last thing I'm going to say is the first thing I said. Please donate, dudes. I suck at fundraising. Please make it easier for me. I don't want to disappear, and I hope that you agree. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck, Godspeed, and God bless everyone.